Hi everyone, Papa Kenn here, and I literally just finished seeing the remake of Evil Dead. And just sort of giving you my first impressions here.
We're gonna get you, not another peep. Time to go to sleep.
Wow. That that was a horror movie. That was a gritty, dirty, gory horror movie. And I absolutely loved it. Now, anyone that is a fan of the original Evil Dead movies, well, I've seen split opinions online, but overall, I think you'll be very pleased with how this was handled. There's not really any of the campiness of the original movies. It's done in a very serious way, but it rings so very true to the original movies, and it even has a few little shout outs, like a few subtle, well, and some not so subtle hints at the original series, and it's just done so well. I'm seriously blown away by the movie right now, for many reasons, probably the biggest of which is just how much blood is in this movie. Now, there's all different kinds of horror movies. Some people prefer, spooky movies, ghost movies. This is one of those. It's a classic slasher combined with just horror demons. I'm trying to think of the right way to put this right now. It's just more than anything, this is a movie that will be hard to stomach if you are not a person that likes gory horror movies. But if you do enjoy those movies, I mean, we have things like Hostel, like Saw or the Saw series. Those get left far behind. And this is actually the director's first major production. His name is Fede Alvarez. Fede Alvarez? I don't know. I probably slaughtered his name, but this is his first big motion picture, and he did such a good job. Like, he took the original story of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead movies and just blew it out of the park with this one. Okay, it does have some problems, all of which really revolve around some of the acting. Some of the actors are not that great, but once you get past that, well, okay, and a little bit of the writing, but it's mostly the actors themselves. But just a few, just a few. Most of the actors in this movie do a very good job, and it's hard for me to really put it across because this is just such a great movie, and it's something that if you're a horror fan, whether you're an Evil Dead fan, Army of Darkness, or just horror in general, as long as you don't mind blood, because there's a lot of it, you need to see this movie. This is, I mean, easily the best horror movie that's come out all year. I don't know of any others that have come out this year, but yeah, it's ah. I don't know what to say. This has been probably, other than Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods was a really good horror movie, but in a different way. This was a really good, just flat out horror movie, and one that I mean, will easily go into collections with the other Evil Dead movies and Army of Darkness. Uh, how it has, I think it only has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And that, I mean, horror movies are never really accepted that well on Rotten Tomatoes or by critics at large. But just if you're, I've said this over and over, if you're a fan of horror, this is just such a good movie. You need to see this. Despite its flaws, all those flaws are minor. This is just, I was, well, not on the edge of my seat exactly as far as, like, spookiness, just waiting for the next thing to happen. And you think that, like, once something happens and they're going to let up, but they don't. They don't. They just keep going. And I was in my seat just cringing because in some cases, I knew what was going to come next, and it happens, and it's still just spine chilling. Yeah. See the movie. See the movie and wait through the credits. Wait till the very end. Now, this isn't really a spoiler because I think everyone should know this, but there is a setup for a sequel, and I cannot wait. They need to come out with that sequel this year. It's not going to happen, but it needs to happen soon. This movie has me that excited. Seriously. And based on everything, taking the flaws into account, and again, this is first impression, so take it for what it is. I give this movie a 4 out of 5. I highly, highly recommend it for fans of horror movies, and that's really all there is. I'm sorry that I rambled so much throughout this review, but this movie really has me that excited, and that's all there is to it. Alright, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little review, enjoyed my ranting, and go see this movie. Seriously. I'm Papa Kenn, and I'll see you next review.